Hello, Spider friends and Apprentice fans and anybody else who might have clicked on this video. We are here today to talk about The Apprentice, UK, obviously. And we are here to talk about the episode gaming. Oh. See, I knew it was going to be bad last week from the preview. I knew it was going to be bad. I didn't know how bad it was going to be until I actually watched the episode. Now, I'm a bit late in filming this because Thursday night I was doing a pub quiz. I was actually hosting the pub quiz. So I didn't get back till late, and I thought I'll watch it tomorrow, and then I just had a very late night last night as well, and by the time I'd actually ended up watching the episode, which took 2 hours to watch, I couldn't be bothered to film until today, which is the day of Saturday, because I kept having to pause the episode, and that's why it took so long to watch it. And the reason I had to keep pausing the episode is because it physically hurt me to watch. I have spoken on this channel before about this, but just in case that you're new, I am neurodivergent, which is I'm somewhere on the autism spectrum basically, and I have super empathy, so secondhand embarrassment, secondhand cringe is actually physically painful for me, and that's why I can't watch certain shows that are cringe comedy shows. I just can't watch them because it physically hurts me. And the pitches that they were doing this week were so bad, I was in actual physical pain watching them, so I kept having to pause them to get through the episode, and that's why it took me hours to watch what is an hour show. It took me twice as long because it was so bad I had to keep pausing it. So the task was, they had 2 video games to design. Each team had a video game to design, and there was no prerequisites. They weren't told it has to be educational. They weren't told it has to be this or that or the other. They were just told 2 video games. Each team has to do their own game. And even though Akeem is oh yeah, I used to be a professional StarCraft player. No, he didn't. He used to play StarCraft. That doesn't make him a pro gamer. Akeem had this vision of a prison escape game, and that's fine. And then you've got the other team going I'm sorry, right, but prison escape games are just they're so every other game. It's no, actually, there's not that many prison games. What she means is violent games. That's what she means, because she doesn't know anything about gaming. And it turns out a lot of the people in The Apprentice this week did not know much about gaming, because there was a lot of very general statements made where I was oh, this hurts. This hurts me so much. The implication that you don't get many women gamers, and the outright statement that you don't get many black female gamers was and you'd know this how? You would know this how? Being that you are not a gamer, you would know the stats on the ethnicity of the average gamer. Yeah, how would you know that, really? So the 2 games that they had was Time, the prison escape game, and what did they actually call the game? Oh yeah, that was it. Arctic Survivor. Arctic. Not Arctic. Not Arctic. Arctic. because Francesca can't spell. And she did try and pass the blame off to the other people in her team, trying to blame them for her misspelling. But no, 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 no. This all on you, love. This all on you. You can't say the word Arctic, so you couldn't spell the word Arctic. And fun fact, here's how you remember the difference between Arctic and Antarctic. If you translate the word, Arctic means bears. Antarctic means no bears. And where there are no bears, there are penguins. There aren't any penguins in the Arctic. I can't tell you how delighted I was to see Akshay, who has been like so smug and like up himself and just like, as I said last week, I'm sure he's a lovely person in real life, but like if I was on the show he'd drive me insane. But just to see him like smugly say I think there are plenty of penguins in the Arctic, and we've put plenty of penguins in there, and to see his face drop when the guy told him there aren't any penguins in the Arctic, just sort of drop a thing and then just like and hand the microphone off. In fact, I'll play the clip. So at this point there was a very short clip of Akshay handing the microphone off, but Fremantle did a copyright claim, so that's gone now. You don't know how happy that made me. Like, you just don't know. Like, that is like one of the funniest things that has ever happened in The Apprentice. That's just like hands down one of the funniest things that has ever happened on The Apprentice. Not only could they not spell the word Arctic, but they didn't know that you don't get penguins in the Arctic, and then he sort of smugly declared that there were plenty of penguins in the Arctic. No, there isn't, actually. No, there isn't. And he just did not know how to answer that and passed the microphone off. Because what else could he do at that point? The answer is nothing. There's nothing he could do. And I sent this clip to a friend of mine who never watches The Apprentice, and I was like, this will still be funny, even though you don't watch The Apprentice. And she was like, I thought people who went on The Apprentice were supposed to be smart. And I'm like, no, that's why the show is brilliant, because they're supposed to be smart, but they're not smart, they're stupid, they're so stupid. And this is the kind of thing that they do. They don't check spelling, and they make assumptions, and they say things like, well, right now there are no games about climate change and environmental impact. There are games about climate change and environmental impact, but you wouldn't know that because you're not a gamer. You just make assumptions because things that are popular are things like Fortnite and Call of Duty, and when you think of games, that's what you think of, but you're not an actual gamer who plays across like multiple platforms and actually knows about the kind of games that are released, and so therefore you don't know anything about them, so you make all these sweeping statements and you're just wrong. You're just wrong about it. Oh, this has been a task that has proper got me back up, just because it's a field of which I have a lot of knowledge, and none of these people seem to have a lot of knowledge. So, comparing the two games, Arctic Survivor and Time was clearly the better game. They had a better trailer, they had a better demo. Like, I don't know, like, I think people were being a bit harsh on the demo. Like, oh, it didn't seem like they had much to do. It's a demo, it's a proof of concept. Like, did you actually expect them to build a full, like, a first level, fully developed first level in a day? No, that's just a ridiculous demand that you were making, industry experts, like, obviously it was a proof of concept. It wasn't going to be a fully developed first level. And the concept was, there are puzzles and there are combat. And I think that they proved very adequately the game concept. Arctic Survivor was supposed to be a platformer, like a scrolling platformer, which was fine, but like not very interesting. And you know, if it hadn't been for the misspelling, if it hadn't been for Sam the scientist, hadn't been for the massive errors, maybe if they'd have done actually in their pitch, like, we see this, like, if they'd have known anything about gaming, like, if they'd have been like, we see this as a platformer, we see it as a mobile game rather than like a AAA console title, we envision this being like Flappy Birds, like, rather than being like Call of Duty. If they'd have like expressed some of these things in the pitch, maybe they'd have done better with those, like, you know, provisos with spelling and penguins and things. There's no way Sophie should have been taken into the boardroom, because she was making suggestions and Francesca was just like, no. Like, Sophie was like, does it have to be Sam the scientist? Can it be Professor something? And she's like, no. Like, well, I think the game is kind of boring and maybe we should do that. No, just like everything she said, she got shot down. And I would have wanted to punch Francesca, to be honest. If they'd have sent the wrong person home, I would have been quite angry about that. But they sent the right person home, the person who can't spell the word Arctic. It's not a very hard word, it's 6 letters, but she couldn't spell it. Like, at this point, and Lord Sugar said it himself, like, at this point, you'd expect to be seeing, like, some cream rising, and there isn't. There's a lot of turds floating about on the surface, not so much the cream. Akshay, of course, is the turd. God, I can't wait till Akshay goes. I mean, he makes brilliant telly, but oh my god, what an idiot. What a complete and utter idiot. And now I've got a kitten who is crying because I've shut the door for once and I'm not allowing her inside while I'm filming. That's not stopping her. She is trying to squeeze herself underneath the door. So, I think the right people went home. The right person went home. I can't keep up with the team names anymore because they've swapped them around so much, so I'm not even going to bother. I can't wait till Akshay goes. I find this series of The Apprentice You're Fired a little bit lackluster compared to previous seasons. Like, when Darrow O'Brien was running it, like, it just seemed a lot funnier, and they would pull clips and they would discuss the episode more, and they don't seem to do that now with the bored guy. I don't know what his name is. So, I don't know. We're just going to have to see now what happens, because I have no idea who's looking to win this series, but there's nobody standing out to me at all. Nobody is, like, looking like they're going to be, like, clearly the winner or anything. It's just a bunch of absolute nincompoops. They did have Thomas on The Apprentice You're Fired from previous years, the pillow salesman, who was very charming and funny, and God, that was a nice reminder of Apprentice's past. So now I guess we're just gonna see how they do on their like staycation thing. Don't think it's going to go well. None of these seem to be going well, but you know, that's The Apprentice.